Hey Flosstube, it is Michelle from Made by Michelle McGraw, and this is Flosstube number 85, I think. I will have the correct number when I upload it. It is May 9th, 2023, and I am back super quick for myself. So, as you guys know, we've been doing a ton of traveling. We have some more traveling to do, but I've been busy trying to do some fully finishes while I'm at home. Fully finishing is not something I can really take in the truck. I also can't take a sewing machine. I don't want glue, anything like that. So I just stitch in the truck. So while I was home, I wanted to do some finishes, and my finishing pile is huge. I have so many, excuse me, pieces that I need to fully finish. As you guys know, I have been stitching the Gold 252 ornaments, which is a great fun hashtag. If you want to join in, use the hashtag and follow along with us, cheer people along. But it also creates a lot that need to be fully finished. So I thought, while I have some time at home, what finishing can I get done? So I went to my pile and I thought, well, pillow finishes are the easiest for me to do. Let me pull out anything that I would make into a pillow finish. Most of these, all of these are ornaments that I've done. So pillow finishes is a pretty good finish for me for the Christmas tree. They're light. I stuff them with fiberfill, which I will try to share a little tip with y'all about fiberfill. So I went through my pile and I picked out a bunch. I had 30 that I picked out. So I've been finishing them. I don't have all 30 finished, but I do have a lot. Let's see, I have 9 finishes to share with you. So I have been finishing. Now finishing cuts into my stitching time, but I know with these upcoming trips, I'm gonna have a lot of stitching time. I try to do a project at home that is something I wouldn't take in the truck. So truck stitching, if you guys don't know, my husband has a big Western Star over the road truck. It's got a sleeper cab. I have some pictures up. I'm sure they're on Instagram. They're also on TikTok. TikTok has some videos and stuff with it on there. It's Made by Michelle McGraw if you want to check that out on TikTok. TikTok is just the fun portion of making videos. So it's not really great to take any kind of even weave with me. No small count fabric because the truck does shake. So I like to stick to easy 14 count stitching if I can. And that's what I like to take with me. So when I'm at home, I like to do the bigger projects or the projects with beading that, just aren't appropriate to take in the truck. So with that said, I do have some whips to show you, but not a lot, but I do have finishing. So let's jump in, and I'm just going to start picking off the pile. So the first one that I finished is an ornament for my future daughter-in-law, who my son's getting married to in October. And it is Kenzie. This comes from the pattern from Stitchin' Mama, and it is plaid alphabet. She has a website, so if you wanted to get the plaid alphabet, it is Stitchin' Mama. And if you do plaid alphabet plus Stitchin' Mama, it comes right up on Google. She is on Instagram as well. So I did Mackenzie's name. I only did Kenzie. I did ask her before I did Kenzie. Everybody calls her Kenzie. Her real name is Mackenzie, but it is M-A-C Kenzie, which is super long. So this is a good size pillow. I think I put my ruler up. Maybe I can, hold on. I think I can reach it. Super close up of my ear. Okay, so this is a 12-inch ruler. And as you can see, here's the end of it. So it's a good 9 inches. So if I would have added her name, it would have been her full name, that would have been that much longer. And I just didn't know how good that would look. So I did ask her. She said it was okay to do Kenzie. And her favorite color is green. So I picked two green colors to make the plaid. And then you have the black and the white. And I think it turned out really, really well. Of course, this is stitched on 14 count Murky. Picture this plus Murky. I've done my 3 boys' names all like this. One of them was done in blue, one of them was done in red, and one of them was done in a deep green. So this is a little different. There is my backing fabric with my label. And yeah, I like when I have a long ornament like this, I like to use a holder on both corners. So when you put it on the tree, you could just put the tree branch right there and it holds it nice and straight. That's kind of how I get away with when it's a big ornament or a long ornament like this. So that was my first finish. Oh, and I used Lady Dot trim. I think this is called Vintage. And then this is a Lady Dot lace as well. I don't know what color it is. I would say it's Vintage as well because it is similar to this where it has like that grungy rustic appeal. I'm pretty sure this is what I used on my boys as well. One of them might have had pom-poms on it, mini pom-poms, or as my friend Stacy likes to call them, dingleberries. They will now forever be known as, you know, the trim with dingleberries on it. I crack up every time she says it. That is Stacy, the 911 stitcher. So you can go to her channel and ask her if she likes dingleberries or not. You're welcome, Stacy. Oh, I didn't bring this pattern with me. I did show this as a finish before. So if you want to know the pattern, it is on Etsy. I want to say it is Conservative X Stitch on Etsy. And it is Some Heroes Drive Trucks. And I stitched this one for my husband, which is technically the first official ornament I've done for him. I loved the truck. I did change it from the pattern to white since his truck is white. And I wanted to keep the American flag on there. I loved doing this. So I finished this with some, what I call eyelash trim. I'm not sure if you can see it really good. I need to fluff it up on this one. There you go. It's from Lady Dot. I love an eyelash trim because it's just a little bit of finishing, but then I feel like I could put any kind of ribbon I want to on it. So I used some silver ribbon gray ribbon that I had in stash, and I use Vanna Pfeiffer's method to put my ribbon on. So if you haven't seen her videos on how she puts ribbon on, go watch. She does a great job with a button, and you put the bow and the ribbon hanger on all together. I do have my label. I got new labels for this coming up year, and I just used a plaid fabric that I had in stash. So that is his first official ornament. I have another ornament idea for him. So I will say, so this is what I want to tell you about polyfill. As you guys know, I bought a huge box of polyfill. It is on my Instagram account, Made by Michelle McGraw. I had a 5-pound box. I thought, well, I could use some more. My box was almost empty. I'll double it. I thought my box was a 10-pound box. So I bought a 20-pound box. Or at least that was what I had in my mind, that I might be doubling it. Okay, I'll use a little bit more. No, my box was a 5-pound box, and this 20-pound box is ginormous. I would not recommend this because now you have to store this 20-pound box. I did have to open it up because I was out, and there are 2 10-pound bags that fit in this box. That's great, except when you open up the 10-pound bag, now a bag that was like this big is now like a Santa sack. It's huge because air got in it and it fluffs out. So it is literally like I tie it with a ribbon on top. I'm keeping it in that bag and I put it up on top of my shelf. It's ridiculous. Don't get the 20-pound bag. But that stuffing is okay. It's I did not bring it out here with me. It's just a polyfill. Somewhere along the lines, I had gotten Mountain Mist polyfill. Maybe a recommendation from Vonna, maybe from Helen D. I'm not sure. But I got this Mountain Mist, and I just got a small bag to try. Let me tell you, I like the Mountain Mist better than what I have. Now, I have 20 pounds to use of the other. The next time I order, 5 years from now, remind me to buy the Mountain Mist. I like it it's a little bit easier to stuff with. And I don't know why, because I can't find that it's made with different material. I can't see that it's like more cottony than polyester, nothing like that. It just doesn't, I don't know, it fluffs better. I don't know. I like the Mountain Mist. I would recommend that if you need some polyfill and not 20 pounds of it. Okay. My next finish is Come Let Us Adore Him from Lizzie Kate. And this was an ornament that I finished last year for my middle son. This was one of his religious ones. I didn't fully finish it, so I needed to fully finish it. I did stitch this. I think I changed the colors for things that I had using some color and cotton, but it's in the same idea of the pattern. So the colors are similar, but I just used something I had. I finished this, I stitched this on 14 count Picture This Plus Murky. I did use that eyelash trim again, and then I used some ribbon that I had in stash, and I put it on using Vonna's method. And I did have some nativity fabric that I used on the back. So I also put my label on here. As you can see, it says 2022. That's because I stitched this in 22, but I fully finished it this year. I did not get all of my finishes finished last year, so I had a couple in here that I'm playing catch up with. And as you can see, I also stitched my son's initials on a little piece of scrap and then just stick it on there. Why do I do that? Because I have 3 kids. Am I going to remember that this ornament is my middle son's? No. You think you will, but when you have multiple kids, you will not. You will not remember. Put their initials on it in some manner. I'm telling you, from year to year, put their initials. You think you're going to remember? You don't. You don't. Okay, the next one is another one that I caught up from last year, and this is Mackenzie's ornament. And this is a piece of Swan Lake from Owl Forest embroidery. Now, I just did a piece of it. I did stitch on there Swan Lake. This was stitched on a scrap piece of fabric that I had. Literally a leftover piece of fabric. It's 14 count. I did use the Owl Forest floss on it, but I just did the dancers. I thought it was super girly. I loved it. So when I finish, I wanted to do something a little bit more pizzazzy, I guess. So I had these beads. Now these beads are a little too big to do in beading on the cross stitch. So I used Helen D's method of putting these beads on. And basically you just go around the seam you have to sew them on. And I put 3 beads in and then I make a loop. Sometimes I will make one blank loop just to kind of tighten everything down, but it's it's close up against the layer I just put on. Then I do another one. I do 3 beads and I sew it through. And I did that all the way around, as you can see. I just think it's super girly, flashy, blingy. It'll look great on the tree. I did use the hanger. I made the hanger out of the beads as well. And then the back side, I put the hanger on with a button, and I used some nutcracker fabric that I had. Now, this is not Swan Lake fabric, but it's another ballet. So that's the fabric we used. So anyhow, that is super fun. I love how it turned out. Mackenzie said she thought it was wonderful. And the beading just adds a little something. So if you want to see how it's done, go watch Helen D. And she has a tutorial showing like up close as she's stitching it on. I literally used her method. And so thank you, Helen, for sharing that tip, because it's a super fun one. If you have a special ornament and you kind of want to jazz it up a little bit, that's a fun way to do it. I also have a bunch of beads that are, I know they're not Mill Hill beads. I probably got those beads from like AC Moore's or something like that. They were all in a pack together. Like this was the color pattern together. I thought it matched nicely, and it was a great way to use up those beads. So I definitely will do a couple more of that coming up, but that was a fun one. Okay, next one. This is a finish from Homespun. Is it Homespun Elegance? For some reason that doesn't sound right, but it's the little card ones, and it is Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Now, I showed this as a finish. This is a fully finished now. I used that same eyelash trim, and then I was able to add a ribbon on here using the same Vana method. And I used some plaid fabric on the back. So here's a fuzzy. I did update the colors on this one. I want to say that I know I updated the green and the red, and they're variegated. So I don't remember what I used. I just picked colors that I thought were pretty, but I love a Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Look at Mrs. Claus's glasses. Aren't they so cute? I love that. So that'll be an ornament for my tree. Can't go wrong with a Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Okay, here's another one. Is a Prairie Schooler. I don't know what year this one is. It is the one with the polar bear. Now, I changed my Santa to gray and blue instead of what it called for. I saw somebody online that did this, and I thought it was just absolutely fantastic. They used a variegated thread. I just used a solid. I think I used 930, which is actually a blue that Prairie Schooler uses. So I just dug in my Prairie Schooler bag and found a blue, and I changed it. I'm not 100% sure what the gray is, but I think it might be like a 640, 644 maybe. It is a Prairie Schooler color. I found two colors that I liked, and I changed it up. And I just liked the blue with the polar bear. So he's actually been one of my favorite Prairie Schoolers that I do. On the back, oh, that's 14 count Picture This Plus Murky, as was this one. No, this one is 18 count Murky. And then on the back, I just had some Christmas tree fabric and my label, and there is my button that I helped put on the ribbon with. All of the ribbon is from Stash. I buy ribbon, or I've had ribbon from scrapbooking, and I use it for there. Okay, I'm going to show you these next two together, and then I'll show you them apart. I like to do finishes of patterns that match. I like them to be finished the same. So I like to finish them together. So if I do a set and I only do one of the set, but I know I'm going to do the other ones, I will hold off finishing that one until I finish the other one. So these two kind of went together. They have the same colors. This is Stitching with the Housewives. I do not remember the name of both charts, but they're Stitching with the Housewives, very easy to find. Let me show you independently. So this is Santa, and he says, ho, ho, ho. And I stitched them on a scrap piece of Lugana. It is a blue. I don't remember the blue, but I love how they turned out on the blue. And then I had that ribbon in Stash, and the backing fabric. And then this one is Merry and Bright. I did the same exact thing with the ribbon and the backing. So those, oh, and I used that eyelash trim on the side. One of my favorite trims. Okay, oh, I have two more to show. Okay, so I actually had 10 finishes. Whoops, one was hiding. Let me lift that up. Okay, so this one is, it is a very hard to find pattern. I actually sent this one to, I'm trying to think because I sent a couple patterns out. Chantel from 141 Designs. She had said she loved it, and I said, when I'm done stitching it, it's yours. It came out of a magazine. It is Birds of a Feather, and it was night before Christmas. And of course, y'all know I love a cut through. This was super cute. I had tons of fun stitching this. I stitched this on raw opalescent. It's an Ada. I want to say it's an 18 count. I use called for threads, or I substitute for what I had. I just did some ribbon on the sides. And this is like I don't know what you call this, but it's a really sheer ribbon. This is really, really easy to do on the sides like this. You do have to sew it down. It takes a little bit, but this ribbon really does that very, very easily. So that was from Stash. Here's my backing fabric, which is some night before Christmas fabric. Thought that was appropriate. And so there's my little ornament. He's super cute. I really, really, really liked stitching him. Okay, my last finish. This is a Prairie Schooler. I want to say it's Night Before Christmas, but I don't think that's the name of the book. Up on the Rooftop? Is that a name? I'm not sure. I did this a while ago. I did update the colors. I had a bag that I was stitching out of, and I just used whatever I had in the bag, which is kind of unusual for me for Prairie Schooler. I stitched it on black Ada. I think this is 18 count. And I just love how it turned out. I love a cut through. I love a cut through. So I finished this with some gingham ribbon that I had in stock, and I just kind of roused it on there. And then this is the backing fabric. This was a fabric line that I have in stock or in my stash. And I just thought it went so nice with the front. And I love how that turned out. So that's a super fun one too. So with all that finishing, I have been busy, really, really busy. That does take away stitching time, but it has to be done. My basket is down. I have a bunch of pillows that are sewn into pillows that need to be stuffed. I have the hiccups, I'm sorry, and trim on them. So I'm working my way through them. Hopefully you'll see some more on the next one. What have I been stitching? Okay, so my big whip, let me leave that till the last because I only have two that I'm going to show you. I don't think I showed you my progress on my, trying to find the cover page, and I think I have buried it. Hold on. This, I have the PDF of this. You can now get this chart. Teresa Kogut has released this, Beauty Fades, and that picture does not do it justice. It is a beautiful, beautiful chart. I am doing mine on 25 count Pebble Lugana from Lori Holt. And this was my project that I took. Let me move my needle minder so that it's not in the middle of my stitching. I took this one to Vegas, and I don't think I ever showed you my progress. I have not worked on it since March, but I did get a lot done when I went to Vegas. I am not stitching. So there's 4 divisions on the chart, and one of them is right here, and it has these flower beds on it and an alphabet. I'm omitting that. So I have the top border fully done. This section is fully done. And I have come down here and I've started to stitch on the girl, the sayings, the dogs, all that. I did make a slight change. So the chart actually reads, youth is fleeting and beauty fades, but a woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. Now, I know that this is a scripture verse, but I really hate the word fear. And I didn't want something that says fear on my wall. So I changed it to loves. So mine will say youth is fleeting and beauty fades, but a woman who loves the Lord shall be praised. And that's just my own personal, I wanted to change for something up there. So that is my progress. I love it. It's beautiful. I love this. I do have the bottom section yet to do. So, but I'm making progress. I have not worked on it since I came back from Vegas, but that's what tends to happen when I only take one project and I work on it like that. Then I don't want to work on it when I come home. So it's been in a timeout right now, but I will get back to it soon. It was a great project to take with me. I loved stitching on. I love it. I just wanted a break. So, all right, that's the progress on that one. All right, my last whip that I'm going to show is what I've been working on. Oh, that's just an iron mark. I thought I had a hole in my fabric and I was going to cry. It's not. It's from where my hoop was on there, and it just doesn't look great. I don't know. That does kind of look like it. It's not a hole, but all right. So I am working on Judith Kirby's, their Halloween house, Victorian house number 9 and house number 15. Now, I had said that I wanted to start these, and there used to be a shop, I want to say in Michigan, but I could have that wrong, that had the rights to sell Judith Kirby. Someone left me a message on my last video and said that shop has since closed. Unfortunately, I don't know that they sold the rights to any other store. I don't know, maybe they are. I have no idea. You can find these used. All right, so this is house number 9 and house number 15. And I'm stitching them together. This is what they look like together. You just leave one side of the chart out and then you stitch the other one. So I really, really am enjoying this. I am almost done with the first house. So I'm stitching this on 28 count. Oh, I cannot remember the name. It is a Jobelin. I didn't think I liked Jobelin, but I will tell you, I really am liking this fabric. I have a little bit more fill in on the house, and then I have some back stitching on the house, and I'm done. And then I'm going to move over here and add the other house. So that has been super, super fun. I really, really have enjoyed it. I have to figure out how I'm going to fully finish it because I do not know. But I really like it. So that's what I've been working on. Okay, now I'm going to show you some stash, and then let me show you first these. I changed out my cross stitch boards. What are cross stitch boards? Cross stitch boards, I did a whole video on them. This is something that my mom has, my sister has, and I have. Ooh, my hair's kind of sticking out. It's a little hot here today. It's supposed to be 89. 89! Forget smooth hair. It's always going to be frizzy. Okay, that's not why we're here. We're here for stitching. Okay. So my cross stitch boards are something that my dad made for my mom years ago. He made us one. He made me and my sister one. And then my husband made me an additional 2 boards. So I have 3 cross stitch boards. If you want to see them, go. It is Flosstube Special Edition, and I want to say it is 34 or 35. So just go down my list and you'll find them. So I put out my summer stitching. So this is a set of 4. There's 4 pegs on mine. And I tell you how you can make them. They're super easy. You can do 3 pegs, you can do 4, whatever you prefer. But the ones that I have are from, I think it's Trilogy. And this is an older chart that I did. Here is the watermelon. Now these frames are from Pottery Barn, and this is plastic on front. It's not glass, and you could easily open them up and take them out. And I tell you how you can secure that your stitching doesn't ravel in that video. Okay, so here is a watermelon, a flag, summer, and then a boat. And I think there's 5 patterns in these charts. I just chose my favorite 4. The next board I have is a bigger board, so I'm able to put bigger finishes on it. I want to say these are from Blue Ribbon Designs. I'm not 100% sure. I did these years ago. So, a barn with a cow and a chicken, and I love it. I love this one. A church. A house with an Americana flag. These frames are simply frames that I got at a craft store, and I just adapted them. And then the eagle in the tree. So that's my Americana set that I put on that board. And then my other board, I have some old school frames. These come apart a little bit, but once you snap them on, they stay when they're on there. So it's these old school plastic ones. And I just did seed packs. The seed packs came out of a book that my mom had. My sister might have it, I don't remember, but they had some seed packs and I thought they were super cute. So these are carrots. And I did these years ago. Sorry, I'm trying to snap it in its frame. Tomatoes. Broccoli. And if they're crooked in the frame, that one was super crooked. It's because I'm trying to get them in there and just show you. Sometimes they pop out of the frame. And then turnips. I think that's so pretty. That was my favorite one to do. So that's what I have on my cross stitch board right now. So if you're interested in doing one, go look at that video because I explain how you can do one for yourself and they're super easy to do. All right, so what do I have to show you? Well, this is out of stash. I didn't buy these, but I have decided on my kids' religious ornaments. So I do all of the kids, including Mackenzie, so that's 4, ornaments for Christmas. I did this last year. I did 3 the year before that. And then I think I might have only done 1 the years before that. So anyhow, the religious ones, I always like to kind of have a theme with them and everybody's kind of matches. That's not always possible. Religious ornaments are hard for me to find, but I had these and I've had these in my stash for a super long time. And I finally said, I'm going to stitch them. They are from Blackberry Lane Designs and it is the Starry Night series. So they were supposed to be finished into these pendants, these little pendants, and you could wear them as a necklace. And the pendants came in here. I took the pendants out because it was like 56 count linen. I would have never stitched these. But as you can see, it's like the scene going through the desert. There's the wise men. I'm doing this one because I'll show you the rest of them. So we have another scene of them going through. That is Mary and Joseph going through the desert at night. And then this is the shepherds, 2 of the shepherd ones. And I think they're gorgeous. So I'm doing all of these silhouette type ones. Now, as you can see, there is Mary holding baby Jesus. And then there's the town of Bethlehem. And I'd like to do those for my tree. There is another one that is Journey to Bethlehem from them, which I think is super pretty. So I've had these for a really long time. These are the ornaments I'm doing. Now these aren't super big, but they are full coverage. I don't think it says on here how much stitch count it is. Okay, so for these 2, the stitch count is 39 by 55. That's not a lot, but it is full coverage. Let's see if this has, yeah, 39 by 55. So I think these are definitely doable. I've had them for so long. I just want to stitch these so much. I am sure I got mine on 1, 2, 3 stitch. Wait a minute, do I have a sticker on one of these? No. Nope, wait a minute. Oh, I thought it told me the store. I probably got them on 1-2-3 Stitch. I know you can get some of them on 1-2-3 Stitch. These are beautiful. So that is, I finally decided on one ornament that I'm doing for them. So I did want to share. Okay, now I went on Kitten Stitcher. She had some adorable, I'm just going to pull it all out so I can put it back in the bag as I show it to you. She had some adorable tags that I thought were fantastic. And I'm going to show you the tags because I got them in several colors for finishing. And they're really, really pretty. These are made from the Bee Company. And Kitten Stitcher has them on her site. They're super, super cute. I got some for finishing. But they also had some really cute buttons for finishing. So these are all from the Bee Company. So here's some reindeer. Here's some daisies. Some little tags to add to finishing. Now this one was super cute because it's a whole pack. And what is it called? Oh, it doesn't say. It's like a countdown, and it has all these different buttons on it. I think they're really cute. These are so well made. Some little sheep. Some plaid pumpkins, which are super cute. Some little chickens. Here's some churches. Aren't they pretty? Or a little house. One is definitely a church, but the others is houses. Just some little Christmas tags with words. Some more pumpkins. Here's a little frame. And then some gingerbread. So that was my order from Kitten Stitcher with some fabric that I got. I got not finishing fabric, or not cross-stitch fabric, finishing fabric from Teresa Kogut. It was her new line, the patriotic line that came out. All right. I just have a little bit more to show. I am in Teresa Kogut's Patreon, and I thought this month's was just fabulous. So I wanted to show you the patterns. This is Mr. and Mrs. Old Glory, and this is for May in her Patreon. I am in the highest tier. I think I'm tier 4, so I get this for free. Well, I've paid my Patreon price. Is that not adorable? These would make adorable stand-ups. I don't know how big they are, though. I'd have to look, but they're so cute. I loved that one. She also did Pledge of Allegiance. Let me show you that one. Now, she also has coloring pages that I've not printed out yet. So this says Allegiance. Beautiful. And then this is Patriotic Tweet, which I think I printed that twice. No, I printed it in color. Okay. So she had some great, great patterns this time. I had some patterns that I had on my phone. Some free ones that I found, like a tiny modernist one. I'll show you this one. It is free, but go to Tiny Modernist. I had not printed it out. Let me just show you that. So go get there. Go get hers from Tiny Modernist. This is a freebie from Doreen Jones, and I had it on my phone saved, but I hadn't printed it out, and so I printed it out. Doreen Jones does freebies in her Facebook group. She also had an angel freebie. They are in her Facebook group, and you have to go back and find them. So I finally got those off my phone and printed them. I did get my Big City Christmas from Country Cottage Needleworks, and this one is called the restaurant. Now I'm hoping that I can take these buildings and put them with my Hometown Holiday series. And what I'm planning on doing is just changing the colors. So I'll use the colors that I used in Hometown Holidays. I'm not jumping on that because I still have plenty of Hometown Holidays to do. This is a pattern that I ordered off of Mountain Air Fabrics. They have a Facebook group and they do releases and stuff, and you can order from them. And it is called Oh Dear from Primitive Hair. And it's done into a shaped pillow. I don't think you could see it really good on this cover sheet, but it's really, really cute. And that came in. I'd ordered that a while ago, so that finally came in. All right, I also went on Leisure Arts. And Leisure Arts, somebody in one of the Facebook groups was talking about some patterns, and they had linked the patterns to Leisure Arts. When I went on Leisure Arts, they had some patterns that I really, really liked. And they were like $4 or $5. They weren't a lot. They were PDF downloads from Leisure Arts. So they are, directly from their website. This is called A Christmas Story. I guess you can know why I got that. Lots of good elements I could make into ornaments, divide it apart, or even do the whole picture. It's just beautiful. Now on there, this is why I actually went. So they have a series. Let me get all of these together. I have one of these patterns. Of course, I could not find which one I had because I didn't have it organized. I had these in, there's some business things that I've been looking for, some paperwork. I didn't know that's where it was. I was looking for it. I thought it was in my car. It's not. There it is. That's the paperwork I need for tomorrow's meeting. I'm so organized. Anyhow, these are the Heirloom Nativity. Now I'm doing the Jan Lynn Nativity, which is now sold by under Cooler Designs. This is a Leisure Art one. It is beautiful as well. My hope is that I will either maybe mix some of these elements in with my nativity, or I would do this as a whole nativity set, or maybe just as ornaments. So I have one of the patterns. I didn't know which one I had. I bought them all. They were like $4 and I was like, it's fine. So this is the Wise Men, and it comes with the Wise Men and the camels. The Shepherds with the angel and all those sheep. And the Holy Family, which comes with the donkey and the cow. I think this is the one I have. I could be wrong. I need to find it. But anyhow, that is a great nativity set. So if you're looking for a good nativity set, and I think even if they were $5, I mean, that's $15 for the whole nativity. That is not bad at all. So go to Leisure Arts, and I'm trying to see if I can find, it's leisurearts.com. And then I guess you go, I went straight to the store because it says leisureartslibrary.com. So you can go there and you should be able to get those in case you wanted to do a nativity. While I was there, I also got these divine ornaments, which are just sayings, but I thought they were really pretty. And then I got two kind of Easter ones, but they're super, super pretty. Palm Sunday and Resurrection. Very, very pretty. So there's some ideas. Okay, last thing. I'm sorry, I think I bumped the camera. Okay, so I love Bothy threads. They're overseas for me, and I love their cut throughs. And I went and bought, I was only buying one, and then more jumped in my cart because I thought, well, if it's coming from overseas, it should come with friends. Anyhow, so I got the cut through wedding, which I think is super cute. I don't think I'm going to do this for Kyle. I don't think this is their style, but I think it's really, really cute. I actually would do this for me and my husband and do it as an easel finish for our wedding anniversary, because I put that up at February. I think that would be cute, and then leave it out through our anniversary in March. This is cut through Haunted House. Really cute. This is Cut Through Christmas Department Store. That one is ginormous. Ginormous. Beautiful though. And it comes with all the threads. This is Cut Through Pirate Ship. I think that's super cute. I just loved it. Cut Through Noah's Ark. And then these are the three that I'm trying to decide. I really want to start one of these because clearly I've collected them. I have more cut throughs from Bothy Threads that I got off a stash unload. Somebody was just selling the patterns. And I bought, like, I was like, well, what do you want for all of them? And we made a deal and I bought all of her patterns and she threw in fabric. And I was like, you did not have to do that. Super, super sweet. So I have more cut throughs, but I am going to start one of these. Which one am I going to start? I don't know. This is Cut Through Hen Home. This is adorable. If you like chickens, I feel like this is a must-have. This is adorable. That is my dog scratching. FYI. And no, he does not have fleas. He just got a bath the other day. So loud. I don't know if you can hear that. What are you doing under there? Is he right under? Oh, he's literally right beside me. That's why. Okay, this is Cut Through Christmas Bothy. So it's like Santa coming home. And is that an yurt? Is that a yurt? I think that is. I think that's so cute. And then Cut Through Nativity. I am leaning on doing this one or this one. I think those are my two that I really want to work on. And I really think it's the hen house. I don't know though. Stay tuned. We'll see if I start one when I start it. Okay, so what are my plans? I am going to finish my Judith Kirby. I still don't know how I'm going to finish it. I was thinking about doing like an easel finish. I might just frame it, although I hate to pay to frame something that I wouldn't leave up all year long. And I don't know that with that long, narrow piece, I could find a frame, a custom or a non-custom frame. So I don't think that that's probably going to work. But I'm going to finish Judith Kirby's Halloween house. I have a bag loaded with some ornaments to take us when we go. My husband has been working on, he had a cracked head on his motor. Now, I don't know exactly what that means. I know that his truck was not working well. And it wasn't a blown head, it was cracked. I don't really know the difference. He does, he has lots of parts in the shop laid out and the motor's part. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. I know he's finishing. He said he needed some more parts or he would have had it back together yesterday, which means he's going to look at me shortly and say, okay, let's go get the next load. So I do have a bag packed of different ornaments. I need to get these all the way kitted up. I've started pulling the floss. I need to get these kitted up so I can take them. Because they're not that big, I think I'm just going to do them on 14 count, because on 14 count, they would be 1 1/4 by 1 1/2 inches. These are not big. So I feel like 14 count, just make it easy on myself. So I need to finish kitting these up. It actually does have quite a list of floss to do, but it also is including, you know, this one that has colors, that one has one that has colors, and so does that one. So it's including all of that. So I would like to take these with me. I have another bag, finish my Judith Kirby, and maybe start one of these Bothy threads that I really would like to start. I've never done one of them like this, and I don't want to. So that there you go, I want to. So yeah, I have changed out all my spring stuff and put out my Americana and bees. I leave Americana up through July 4th, and then I will take down Americana. And sometimes I take down the bees, sometimes I leave it. I put up like beach and farm stuff. So after the 4th of July through till I can put out fall stuff. So I did that all today. I'm going to try to continue to fully finish so I can get some of these out of my pile. Next time I go through, I will say, what can I do like as a circle finish? Or are there any that I can do as a flat finish that I want to do as a flat finish? And just go through them and do them in steps. I did all the sewing on my pillows. So literally I just have stuffing and trim to do. So the sewing part is done. So doing them that way, I can sit down and do a little bit at a time, and I don't feel so overwhelmed that I have to get everything out and I have to iron and I have to put interfacing. Oh, here's another tip that I found out. So my iron, a while ago, I cleaned my craft room. I'm pretty sure at that point, I remember dropping my iron. When I went to go use my iron this time, it was leaking water like pretty bad. Something cracked. So I told my husband, and he said, well, let me take it apart. Because he said, well, do you have a warranty? And I'm like, no, I've had this iron for 3-4 years. No, I don't have a warranty. And he said, okay, because I might break it. And I said, well, I clearly can't use the way it is because it's spilling water all over my fabrics. And I use a lot of hand dyed. That's going to be bad. So he took it apart. It was unfixable. So I ended up getting a new iron. Because I was using a new iron, this is how I know. So I use the really thin interfacing on most of my cross stitch. So let me see if I can show you one. I need a large hole. Which one did I leave a largest hole that I can show you? I don't think you're gonna be able to see it. I use a really thin interfacing. No, you probably can't even see it right there. It's very, very thin. But it's enough to give the stitching some protection. And if you do use lizard litter, it won't come through your cross stitching holes. It's a Pellon, I don't know what number it is. It's something that Vanna recommended. So I was using my iron, and I noticed when I got done, I had like 30 pieces to put interfacing on, 60 pieces. I had 30 pieces of cross stitch, plus I put it on the backing fabric, so 60 total. And when I got done, I noticed my iron was dirty. And I was like, this is a brand new iron. What am I doing? So we were in our local cross stitch group meetup, and Beth she's fantastic. She does a lot of sewing. Her and Tammy are great to do tips and tricks. And we were all talking, about my iron and everything. And I said, Beth, do you notice when you put that thin interfacing that the glue comes up through that interfacing a little bit? I don't mean I ironed the wrong side of the interfacing, because I have done that. She said she's done it too. So I'm like, okay, good. I'm not the only one. She goes, oh no. I said, okay. She said, yeah. She said that glue will come up through that interfacing. So what I am now going to do when I finish my cross stitch is I'm going to batch my cross stitch. I am going to iron all the interfacing on of 5 or 6 pieces that I want to do. Then I'm going to turn off my iron and I'm going to clean it with Iron Clean. And it was all kinds of gunky stuff on there, but if I hadn't cleaned it, it would have gotten on the front of my stitching as I was turning pillows and re-ironing them. So if you're going to do a lot of interfacing, or if you're going to do a lot of pillow finishes or anything that puts interfacing on and you're using that thinner interfacing, maybe batch them like I'm going to do, and then you can clean your iron afterwards. So like, cut all of your pieces and then go iron all your pieces, then clean your iron, then do the next step. So do them in steps so that you can clean that off, or be very aware that sometimes that glue does come through that and gets on your iron. I know my iron was not too hot because I had it on the right setting. Because it was new, I was making sure, I was double checking, I was doing everything, what it was supposed to be. And I don't know that I've always done that in the past, but I did really notice it because it was a brand new iron. So I now, after I put my interfacing on, I will clean my iron afterwards to make sure none of that gunk is left on my iron. And I think if I used I have some like a better interfacing, a little bit heavier duty interfacing. I don't like to use it on stiff Ada. That stiff Ada is already hard to turn when you're doing a pillow. I like the thin stuff. So it's not that I won't quit using it. I absolutely will keep using it. It works, great. But I know that it can leave a residue on my iron, and I will clean it after I do it. So I don't know if that tip will help you. Maybe it doesn't leave it on your iron. Maybe your iron has a different coating on it than mine does, or it's less susceptible. But I would suggest cleaning your iron after interfacing if you're doing a lot of it, or group your interfacing up and then clean your iron. So anyhow, I just thought I would pass that along in case that would help you, because I know I have gotten stuff on pieces of cross stitch before, and I just didn't know where it was coming from, and now I do. It's from that interfacing. So anyhow, okay, we are almost at an hour, and I didn't really even think I had that much to show this time other than the finishes, and I did. So okay, so happy stitching. I hope I can come back just as quick as I did this time, but we'll see. So happy stitching, and I will see you soon.